They are currently reviewing documents, taking testimonies. I ain't done nothing. I'ma say it. I see what they're going for. Like, I agree with this. Have you ever found yourself agreeing with something a front member said? Okay, we are back with another part of Interrogation. And I just want to show this. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 successes on my last delegation of tasks. So we tracked down our informant. We found the gun that the guy from the very first case had. We worked with the DA. Oh, we got a small donation, and then we sent Tab home early, and our popularity is going up, so that is always good. This is staying neutral, which is fine. This is staying neutral, which is fine. Popularity going up. All right, let's close this out. Let me check on very high, very high, very high. Everybody is very motivated, which is good to know. I don't really care about anything else right now, truthfully. Let's go ahead and continue here. Oh, this is our informant. We tracked her back down. She had stopped giving us reports, so here we go. So, Rachel, tell me, why did you try to give us a slip? Look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll explain everything. But no, I didn't try to give anyone the slip. Sure, what's up? It's a bit more complicated, but me and my boyfriend rented a new place. Well, not only that, but we also quit our jobs. It's weird. I know he just insisted that we lay low for a while. He drinking that Kool-Aid. And why exactly did he insist that you lay low? Okay, Rachel, this is it. I will need your boyfriend's name, or I am arresting you for conspiracy with a terrorist. Did they make the poor guy crack? Make him fully paranoid? I didn't really understand. He just got this message from Miss Luck, or Lady Luck, or whatever they call her, to lay low. Ooh, Lady Luck wrote to him personally? I don't think so. From what I gathered, they all got the same message. It's the only time this happened, from what I understood. Ah. Why'd you agree to go with them? I didn't want to leave him alone, especially not now. She better not be pregnant, bruh. Yeah, leaving your life behind and going into hiding can be very lonely. Honestly, I do fear a bit for his mental health, especially now, when we aren't really going out of the house much. At least having each other is essential. Okay. Has he been in any... No, I'm sure he hasn't. He's been too busy with those damn pigeons. Pigeons? Yeah, he, out of the blue, decided to buy like 30 pigeons and to train them to send messages. It is so not working. They're about to try to use carrier pigeons. Do you think you could notify us when he sends one with a message? Maybe we could intercept it. How y'all gonna do that? I don't think so. It's more rather just his madman idea. Anyway, he's freaking hopeless. More than half the pigeons died or flew away. He's been trying to get them to return with the message for quite some time now, without any result. Since we last spoke, has any changed? Nope, not much honestly. I just saw he stopped using that pet care chat room, which is kinda ironic with the pigeons and all. Since we last spoke, did you get to hear any names you could give us? Nope, still nothing. She's not telling me everything, I'm gonna be honest, but, okay. Chief Anderson, we've evacuated the factory. And we've determined that there could have been only one way for someone to circumvent this system and bring in any explosives. It needs to have been someone with special access to the digital security system. The system does confirm that special access was used during this last week. This was the first time in months. And only 3 people have special access. The CEO and factory owner, and one Aaron King. The chief of security, one Stephen Moradian, maybe? And the police officer that audited their security system 18 months ago to clear it as safe. Tab? I hope you understand. Tab has to be a part of the questioning. No way. Yeah, we can't look like we're giving absolute love. We should have grouped Tab. Yeah, we can't look like we're giving her a pass. Exactly. Not to mention how this Liberation Front has shockingly wide spectrum of members. Get in there and get a location for those explosives before they blow up in the factory. I'm telling you right now. If Tab is in on this, meanwhile, we'll try to get this. Is it Beno, Weiss, who is hiding with his uncle out of state. Tab, bruh. Alright, Linda confessed. Y'all know what the case is. Let's skip. Alright, so we got Aaron King. He's the founder and majority shareholder of the parent company owning the facility. Entrepreneur. Multiple holdings and investments locally and nationally. His factory is one of the largest military arms producers in the state. Okay. On the side, he operates several military contracting companies. Okay. He's one of the 3 people who had access. Cool. Then we got Stipin, maybe? Steopin? Whatever. This guy. Why say Steve here and not that here? Whatever. We got Steve, chief of security. And then we have our very own Tab Thompson. Wow. Bring him in. I hate... It's timed? I hate this for me. Wait. Alright. Alright, lock in. You're the city's finest. There's no doubt about that, my friend. You keep a low profile for someone of your stature. Do you mind a few personal questions? I value my privacy very much. I assume a few questions won't do much harm. What other businesses do you currently own and operate? This factory is my main investment. There never was any need to diversify my portfolio. What makes this property so, why can't I speak? What makes the factory profitable? I have no idea what you're talking about. They look into your eyes, perhaps a bit worried. Okay, we got a problem on that. Let's go back. I only sell what is demanded. If the world would demand tomatoes more than bullets, we'd be talking about my farm right now. Yikes. I'll sure be rosy with your kind of money, King. This is quite a large facility you own. I have some questions about how it operates. Yeah. Ah, yes, of course. Quite the piece of engineering we've built here. Who are your clients? I'm sure you understand I'm contractually bound not to answer this question, not even if you're the one asked. How many people are employed? There are usually around 100 people every shift, and we work around the clock. I'm at loss over this case. Who do you think would be the inside man to help the Liberation Front? Now, my friend, it is not for me to tell you how to do your job. However, asking your suspects for help does not seem very smart, does it? I honestly don't know. Maybe those government paper pushers who did an audit way back. Have you heard about the Liberation Front? I do my best to keep myself informed about any factors that might affect my operations, so yes. Will you know about their operations? I just read it in the news. Have you ever been in contact? I might have been friend, who knows? I might have been, friend. Who knows? It's not the sort of thing you'd mention at a cocktail party, though, don't you think? Let's talk about the symbolism. Of course, my friend. After all, my factory's about to explode. Do you feel this attack as a symbol? Do you feel this attack against war? That's the beauty of symbolism, my friend. It can mean anything. I think it's a protest against the government and its practices when dealing with the military. I don't know, King. The government might be buying, but you're selling the weapons. I think the guilt is split here. We all know oligarchs like you keep the politicians in their pockets. If the government is corrupt, it's because you're corrupting it. The government has created this demand for weapons and conflicts artificially to keep people dependent and obedient. See what he says. Well, that's an extreme way to phrase it. Okay. Okay. Maybe he's not the guy. I understand that. I have a few questions. I believe we should point fingers after we eliminate the threat. My team is compiling an analysis of possible breach methods that might have been used. Regarding your... Let's get this over with, sir. Okay. What kind of security threats? Most of what we do is preemptive, being prepared for certain situations such as espionage or sabotage. We have never encountered anything close to this before. How does it make you feel to know your job is protecting an establishment that creates devices of suffering and death? People kill people, not guns. My work ensures that whoever gets their hands on these weapons is traceable and can be held accountable for their use. What's it like to work there? For me or for others? As chief of security, I do enjoy many privileges, which is not something I can say about all the other employees. What are your responsibilities? Their eyes narrow slightly. I am responsible for implementing the security system and protocols that Mr. King requires, as well as personnel training and many other things. It seems then that only someone in your position could have orchestrated something like this. It seems then that whoever did this was intimately aware of your procedures. They must have been someone close to you. It seems the most likely explanation, but this conclusion does not help us in any way. Let's talk about something else. You heard of the front? I wouldn't be doing my job properly otherwise. Well, it is terrorism, yes. Okay, he didn't like that. There is no way to know if an online piece comes directly from a Liberation Front member or just a deluded sympathizer, but I've read some things that try and justify their actions. Have you had any contact? Not intentionally or knowingly, as far as I can remember. I don't know about him. What symbolism? That there are bombers that don't like bombs? It's as simple and stupid as that. I guess. Maybe not. He might not. Gotta talk to Tab. Information generates correlation, which allows for informed deduction, which can be used to confront deception. I understand, yes. I have some questions about your role as security auditor. I'm listening. What were your responsibilities, Tab? Verify their security procedures, equipment, and staff were following the government's requirements and protocols. Who commissioned the audit? No one. It's a mandatory annual assessment required by the government if the manufacturer wishes to keep its production license. What were your conclusions? They were mostly abiding by the national security protocols. Their manufacturing process was compliant with safety standards. There were some irregularities when it came to security personnel training. Bro, I want to ask him about that. Did you find that the LF targeted a factory audited by an officer on the police task force assembled against him? As any officer should, I recognize 3 possible scenarios: coincidence, an attempt at getting us targeted by internal affairs, or an actual case of corruption within the department. I want to ask more about Let's talk about the Liberation Front. They are, after all, the main focus of our operations. Why this specific factory? I cannot see a symbolic reason behind this particular factory. I would assume it was mostly a matter of convenience. What's your opinion? The methods are criminal and their members are often misguided and deluded. They do manage to effectively point out systemic flaws though. Okay, I read her file, their file, I don't know. And in college, they were a part of like a radical group. So that's important to know here about Tab. I have a few personal questions I've never had the chance to ask you. The time pressure and the dire consequences make this topic quite inopportune, I believe. Okay. See, okay, so I apologize. I want to ask him about this. No, let's go back to talk to Aaron. We found out about the Factory Liberation Front members right as the threat call was made. Do you think we may have a mole? Well, it sure does sound like it. Let's talk about something else. I want to ask him about questions about the factory. How many people are employed? There are usually around 100 people every shift, and we work around the clock. Is there military equipment? We have a large shipment due tomorrow, stored in the pickup area. I dislike the idea of not honoring the contractual agreement. Okay. What sort of weapons? We specialize in small arms manufacturing as well as high-end electronics, detectors, communication equipment, that sort of thing. How much do you know about the current situation? Briefed on the lockdown and the plant, that's all I know. How come the perimeter was empty? I honestly don't know all the details, but I understand all the employees were evacuated before the lockdown. How does the security codes work? I'm not an expert. All I know is that it's supposed to be some sort of strong password. Is there any way to access the codes without them appearing in the logs? No, absolutely not. This should be the only way for security reasons, my friend. In a world in which your industry has a bad rep, isn't it a PR miracle to become the victim of a... You're trying to pass as a businessman. If you want me to buy it, you need to tell me where your contingency plan is. I'm not gonna do him like that. Work conditions? No. Details of the current situation. What are these access codes? How do they work? Do you think I would just lay down a blueprint of our entire security network just like that? That's private information. It's modern. It's expensive. It's bulletproof. That's what you need to know. Who has the codes? I cannot disclose such sensitive information, but I can tell you it's more complicated than just a password someone knew. How well encrypted are they? It will take a few hundred years using the best available computer power. Okay. You should never trust this digital stuff anyway. That was your first mistake. Are these codes the only way to access the mainframe? Absolutely, just like your car keys are the only intended way to get into your car. Alright. How come there are no employees inside? We received a convincing threat call and we managed to evacuate the factory before the lockdown initiated. What did the caller say? That there are several explosives placed near our ammunition stores, that they have complete control over our security mechanisms, and that we have 15 minutes to evacuate. Anything identifying? They were using advanced voice distortion equipment, probably AI assisted. Their call ID was untraceable. What made it convincing? They spoke with great detail about the things they could have only known if they really did breach our security. The threat call was made exactly at the same time as we found out about it. Do you think there might be somebody inside the police? Maybe, I don't know. If you're interested in employing my boys and me to help... Man, get the heck out of here. What's the standard procedure? The one we have applied. Evacuate and collaborate with authorities. Who do you think is behind this? Well, there was an audit conducted... Yeah. Come back to you, Tab. No way I can supposed to get this done. There were tons of high-grade explosive chemicals that were stored in secure reinforcement containers. If everything works as designed, it should not be a problem. So you do find it suspicious that they're LA targeted. Okay, I'd like to say Leave me alone. How could they set up a bomb in a factory without anyone knowing? Multiple ways. With security under their control, they would have been virtually invisible. How do these security codes work? I'm unable to give out security details that I obtained through my audits. Everything I can share is already in the case file. What else can I clarify? Who has access to these codes? The factory's owner and the chief of security are the ones that held these codes on a permanent basis, besides the auditor. Did you have access to these codes as a security auditor? I did need them to do the audit, yes. Is there any way to circumvent the security system? It was likely that it was completely circumvented using the access code Meridian, King, and I have, because there are no access logs. Someone created a backdoor. Okay, could the security system have been built with a backdoor from the start? Their voice trails off. Not from the start, but someone with the access codes could have built one afterwards, not that I know of though. Aaron seems evasive when talking about the backdoor. Try making him trust you or scaring him. Yeah. I don't know how to get this man to trust me, I'm gonna be honest. Few personal questions. Oh my gosh. Regarding your job. Describe the capabilities of your team. They're experts with decades of experience. If you don't manage to solve this, will you lose your job? If this is due to my oversight, I will surely step down from my position. Yes, I agree. This was your... That is exactly what it means. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know how to get this man to talk to me. I'm gonna be honest. So you say you will step down precisely. How does it make you feel knowing your job is protecting people? Okay. Let's discuss the front. So you do not know. Again, I would like to discuss symbolism. Let's ask about the... Are there circumstances inside substances? Again... What are the access codes? How do they work? I told you wouldn't even understand the details. Let's keep it at modern, expensive, and bulletproof. Okay. Bruh. No. The thing is, there's no new options, so I can't make him... How do the security codes work? Oh. Well, I'm glad then that at least there's a chance for an honest business to be rebuilt. Yes, insurance should also help. Questions about the factory? So your factory is insured. Does that insurance cover terrorist attacks? Absolutely. There's a whole insurance industry focused on weapons manufacturers or military contractors. You know, stories of restaurant owners burning their own joints for the insane money are pretty common. Insurance money are pretty common. I'm glad you'll at least be able to rebuild if you don't stop this attack. Even if you get insurance money, I'm sure it's still hard to see something you've built crumble like this. It is the way it is. We will rebuild. We will recover. We will prosper once more, I say. Oh. Let's discuss the Liberation Front. Why do you think the Liberation Front chose this time to do a victimless attack? I don't know, my friend. Maybe they realize that it's a better way to win people's hearts. Will the Liberation Front win your heart with this attack? They smile. I think you're in a better position to answer that, friend. Would it win your heart? An attack against capitalism is always something I can get behind. An attack against the military, of course not. I can never condone violence, no matter the cause. Good answer, my friend. We don't know who might be listening. What? Were you aware that even if the bomb goes off, the factory is insured? My job is to prevent damage. I didn't want to know such things. It's best to not let your subconscious relax. Tab, maybe? As I said, I did need them to do the audit. Were you aware that King had the factory insured even against terrorist attacks? No, the audit I ran focused on security measures. What does that mean? Bruh, I'm stressing. Not the... Okay, we're gonna retry it. We don't need this. Let's just jump right in. Alright. Hey, Mr. King. How much do you know? My people briefed me on the lockdown and the planted explosives. That's all I know. Why was it empty? How does security codes work? Okay, is there any way to access the codes? Okay. In a case of an explosion, what sort of damage do we expect? I expect the sensitive machines inside will be damaged, as well as the expensive military equipment stored there. The explosion itself should be quite contained. What is most important is for your employees to not be left unemployed. What's most important is for your assets to be rebuilt with minimal cost on your side. Well, my friend, if the government can help with something, that surely would be it. Well, I'm glad then that at least there's no chance for honest... Yes, insurance should also help. Let's talk about security breach. How does it operate? Your factory's insured? Absolutely. There's a whole insurance industry focused on weapons manufacturers. Even if you get insurance money, I'm sure it's so hard. I'm glad you will at least be able to rebuild. You know story. It is the way it is. We'll rebuild. Alright. Steve. Is your direct... I understand I have a few questions about how... I believe we should... Regarding your what's it like to work there? You get some privileges. People kill people, not guns. My work ensures that whoever gets their hands, yeah. If you don't manage to, will you lose your job? If this is due to my oversight, I will surely step down from my position. The Liberation Front must be glad to have you in charge of this operation. Oh, he a hater. Describe the capabilities of your team. What security threats? Okay. No, go back. I don't have personal questions. How does it operate? Working conditions aren't ideal. I don't remember saying there are issues, just that I enjoy some privileges. Okay. How many people employed? They explained calmly. Off the top of my head, around 400 in total, all on site. About a quarter of that was in the factory when the threat happened. Is military on site? Is any equipment missing? No, not to my knowledge. We constantly keep an extremely close watch on our stock. Everything was in place when the evacuation happened. Again, what... Regarding your job. No. Go to... Back to what type of weaponry? Who are the clients? How many people did you employ? You said there's functional. You said so no equipment's missing. Okay, I asked those questions. Regarding your job, maybe? What are your responsibilities? I'm responsible for implementing the security system protocols. It seems that only someone in your position could have orchestrated something like this. Sir, I would not be in the position I am today if I would not have a reputation for being loyal and trustworthy. I want to get to the questions about... No, where are the questions about the codes? The codes. What? So no equipment is missing? He can't tell me about... Oh, okay. Electronic small arms, ammunition. The bulk of our production. You can take a look. The government, among others. I'm not at liberty to disclose more. You said, again... Okay, let's go talk to Tab. Maybe that's where I got the thing. You know how I work, you know, there's no... Roll. What were your conclusions? Okay. Irregularities when it came to security personnel. Any explosives? No. Who commissioned the audit? No one. It's mandatory. So what were the conclusions? What were your responsibilities? You verified if there's security procedures. Okay. But I have some questions. How does security codes work? I'm unable to give out security details that I obtained. Who has access to these codes? Okay. You have access to these codes. Is there any way to circumvent the security system? Okay. Boom. Let's go back. No, leave me alone. Let's talk about... Stop! Let's talk about something else. Let's go to... Here we go. Were you aware that even if the bomb goes off, the factory is insured? My job is to prevent damage. I didn't want to know such things. It's best not to let your subconscious relax. But what's the standard procedure? How come there were no employees inside? What'd the caller say? Anything identifying? They were using advanced, okay. What made it convincing? The threat call was made exactly at the same time. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, let's talk about something else. What sort of security do you have on site? We have a comprehensive multi-layered cybersecurity defense system combined with the state-of-the-art surveillance setup, as well as experienced, trained security personnel on site. Bro, where are the questions about companies abusing workers is one of the Liberation Front's main arguments for changing the current world order. Isn't that a noble goal? Now I finally understand this line of questioning. Officer, I can assure you that I do not believe violence or property destruction of any sort is justified, regardless of motive. Any contact? Not intentionally or knowingly, as far as I can remember. Have you come in contact with their materials? There's no way to know if an online piece comes directly from the Liberation Front member or is just deluded sympathizer, but I've read some things that try and justify their actions. Bro, where are the questions about the security thing? Let's talk about something else. The security breach? How did the security... We have no logs of any access. Could the security system have been built from the start with a back door? Keep this between us, friend. But of course, I installed a private access backdoor on my phone. It's more secure than the factory one anyway. Paid top dollar for it. So you admit you have your own special backdoor access to security mainframe? Why did you keep this secret from a security team? Who knows of this backdoor? No one, just you and me. I'd very much appreciate it if we kept it so, my friend. Why'd you keep this a secret? I'd never hear the end of it if they knew. Why do you even need this level of access? I enjoy connecting remotely to the cameras and keeping an eye on the place, you know, like some people do at home. Steve? Steve? No. They already mentioned. Let's go over the security threats. No, let's talk about something else. Dude, questions about the security. You said the employees evacuation. Remind me, what kind of security? What are these access codes? How do they work? Blueprint. King admits he installed a private backdoor. Did you know about this? What? No, I had no idea. I would never have agreed to such a risky thing. It defeats the purpose of access logs. Are these codes the only way to... Absolutely. How well encrypted are these codes? Why is the factory empty? Where are the workers? I don't have sufficient information. Perhaps they have ways to evacuate. I agree, the timing should raise suspicion about a mole within the police department, yes. No, the audit I ran focused on security. About these security codes. King, what? Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about the security breach. Again, how come the perimeter was empty? Honestly, don't know all the details. My friend, do people ever feel pity for movie villains? No, our animal side loves hurting the enemy, especially when they're down. You had the means to do this, as well as the coverage of your insurance. You did this, admit it. Yes, my friend, your deduction skills are quite impressive. I did this. But the revelation changes nothing. With this act, the world will see that the Liberation Front has... Their voice rises as they speak gesturally wildly. It has the ability to strike deeply at what was once seemed untouchable. A radical message that will finally tip the scales and set into motion the... They say loudly, the unstoppable force of social upheaval. Sacrifices must be made for the benefits of the new order, and the short-term losses are acceptable for. If you don't stop this now, you will rot in jail forever. Help me, and there's a deal for you on the table. I understand, King, but trust me, this place exploding would only do the... They shake their heads, smiling. The trial alone will take years. By then, the front will have brought down the abusive state system and their jails down with it. Aaron admitted he is part of the Liberation Front, but says he doesn't want to stop the explosion. You need to trick him into believing that it's in his own interest to do so. This is so hard. Like, the Liberation Front has things right. They may not do things in the way they should, but they're right about how the world needs fixing. So, hear me out. I see what they're going for. Like, I agree with this. But like, I kind of want to do this. I'm just worried as to what that's gonna mean for me. You know what I mean? No kings, no destiny. Strike back. I definitely don't want this Messiah complex one. Part of me feels like double agent, bro. But then they're gonna start wanting me to throw people off. Let's do scholars of statistics. Let's do this. We've brought in another reporter for you to talk to. And these reporters are getting feistier each time. Miss Becker handled the technicalities in the last interview. This time, Miss Lisa Holt, okay, is looking to write more of a human interest story. I want to learn all about the team that caught the twin bombers. Shall we? I'm sorry, we're getting too close to the leadership of the Liberation Front for me to be spending time doing interviews. Very well, let's sit down. Shall we? I don't like this. Oh, she about to clean us up. First things first, leading this investigation must have put great pressure on you. How have you been holding up? No one can be ready for something like this. It's been hard, of course, but I have a great team backing me up. You've been the face of this operation, but there's a whole team behind you. Let's talk a bit about them, but sure. What did I say? Let's talk about them for a bit. Jennifer Reyes, expert psychologist and criminal profiler. What does she bring to the table? Jennifer's insight into the criminal mind allows us to predict their movements and to better understand their objectives. When you're dealing with the people we are, it takes a specialist to comprehend the distorted way their mind works. Jennifer focuses her efforts on building rapport with the people we investigate. Without empathy, there can be no dialogue. Sounds cool. She about to tear us up. Mordecai Fitcher, an officer with a long history of fighting organized crime. What's he about? He's our boots on the ground man, an excellent detective and a better tracker than a bloodhound. Mordecai knows what the weak spots in a criminal organization are, and he knows best how to use them to our advantage. Tab Thompson. I keep messing up Tab's name. Analyst and technical expert. How are their skills valuable? Tab's insight allows us to make connections we have never seen. Tab's analytical skills are very important when combing through databases and files, making sure we don't miss anything. No, I'm not going to say that one. Recently, Joseph Ward has joined your team. What can this old dog teach you? I thought that said old hag. History repeats itself, and Joseph has been through a similar situation once already. He's the one we turn to when we're stuck. Joseph's experience is invaluable when tough decisions need to be made. What sort of work dynamic do you have? Everyone getting along? We've had our disagreements, of course, but this is just reflective of everyone's commitment and involvement. I didn't even read the other options. You've had to work fast, jumping from crisis to crisis. What's your secret? I've learned to trust make sure we're all well prepared. We only have one shot at this, no do-overs. I don't let myself get bogged down in red tape. The stakes are too high for that. She scared me. When you know lives are on the line, what keeps you focused, sane? I take it one day at a time, solve what I have in front of me first. Good. What is your approach when talking to front members? I try to understand where they're coming from and to show them their mistakes. If their survival instinct kicks in, they become cooperative very fast. Fear is our most effective tool. With diligent questioning, they quickly start contradicting themselves. This is when I catch them. Have you ever found yourself agreeing with something a front member said? Sometimes yes, it's part of my job to use the most persuasive approach. Of course, they are guilty for their actions, not their ideas. I'ma say it. That might have done us in though. Many of those you put behind bars have regular lives before. Do you ever think about that? No, I think about their crimes and those they've hurt. Yes, and it shows how insidious the front's propaganda can be. Yes, of course. These people are everywhere. Our neighbors, our family, our friends. It worries me. These questions are getting hard. Yes, and it shows how insidious. Last question. Do you feel proud of what you have accomplished so far? Pride has nothing to do with it. I've had to do things I'm not proud of, but they are necessary. I see. Okay, well, that's it. Thanks. I don't know how that went. Chief Anderson, I've been protecting you because you're clearly getting results. But push has come to shove. There's an internal investigation running against you? They are currently reviewing documents, taking testimonies. I ain't done nothing. Be ready to be interrogated before this internal investigation's conclusion. The AI running it seems dead set on burying you, so be careful. I haven't done nothing. Can't get me. Boss, we're headed to Hannigan's. Coming? No can do, sorry. I'm supposed to go to this charity dinner thing. No, I'm not going to Hannigan's. They trying to press me? I'm not going to Hannigan's. He called me. Hey, boss, before you head home. Wanted to talk to you out here, away from the others. Heard about the internal affairs investigation thing you need to deal with tomorrow. I know this Hall guy, seen him operate before. Rumor is that he's a tough cookie. And look, I just want to know, is there actually any dirt on you? Cut any corners? Did any nasties? One time, I cut the record off. And I offered him a drink. That's it. Just give it to me straight. I've really been doing my best to be by the book, Morty. It's all clean. Results come first. I've done some bad things, Morty. But they're on me. No need. No! Okay, I'm with you then. Yeah. I know he not talking. I read his file too. Thanks for checking in, Morty. I have this. I know from your declassified file about how you have some dirt on yourself too, from the distant past. Yeah, what's up, Morty? Huh, the armed robbery thing. Yeah, and I never confronted you about it. Heh, thanks, but I proved zero loyalty to those guys. Those guys were just as guilty as I was. One of them ended up super bad. So nah, being a good cop or not today, what I did was just betrayal. Anyway, good luck with Hall. Good night. Okay. And that's gonna do it for this one. If you made it to the end, I thank you for watching. If you liked the video, do the things, click the buttons, like, subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Bye.